Hi, in the last video, we talked about SMTP. We had an overview of how SMTP works, and we also talked about the commands. In this video, we are going to see how that command is actually happening. For the demo, I have two things with me. One is the postfix, and other is the terminal. Postfix is the SMTP server. It is actually responsible for sending and receiving emails. Let me first check if my postfix is running on local or not. Postfix and most of the SMTP server usually runs on port 25. Since I am not able to connect to the port 25, like usually almost all ISCP blocks communication to the port 25, I have to run my SMTP on local. That is the reason I'm running Postfix on local. Now, the first thing I had to do is establish a connection between the client and the server. My client is person who is sending the message, server, the SMTP server of Postfix in this case. What I can do is I can do a telnet localhost on port 25. And let's see after first communication what the server responds back. This 220 greetings means that this SMTP server is ready to talk. Every SMTP conversation begins with this greetings. Now, I have two options, either EHLO or HALO. EHLO is an extended hello, which is basically for the extended SMTP protocol, while SMTP protocol has HELO, that is hello. For this demo, we are going to use EHLO, that is SMTP protocol. Let me type EHLO and my domain, that is pilemanish.cloud. EHLO introduce our client to the server and ask which features it supports. See the features it is respond back. Modern SMTP server uses EHLO. HELO was the older version. Now I have to put my envelope sender ID. That is who is sending this mail. So mail from demo01@gmail.com. Oh, my bad. pilemanish.cloud. This defines the envelope center. This is what the server uses for routing and bounce messages, not necessarily what the recipients see in their email client. Now, let me put the recipient's email ID, that is RECT2. Again, the server responds back with 250. The server now checks if it can accept this recipient. If it can accept, or in case it rejects, the response would be different in each of the case. Now I have to send my data to the recipient, so I can put something like data, enter. The server is now ready to receive the actual message body. After my after I put my message, the actual body is done. I have to end it with a dot. So let me type my message manually. I can start with subject SMTP test email. Now I can start with my body. Hello, this is a raw test email. Regards, Manish. And now the single dot on a new line signals the end of the message. Postfix queues it for delivery. And now I can end my communication with the server. Quit. So this is how the communication happens between the client and the SMTP server. Also, we can see what are the messages configured in the uh, postfix. I can type mail queue. I can see there are three mails. And since I'm running this local, it has an operation timeout right now. So this was a short demo of how SMTP commands work. We can look into auth, TLS, SPF, TKIM, all these topics in the next coming videos.